English Mastery. Unlocking indirect requests with modal verbs. Hello, language learners. Today, we're going to explore a fascinating part of English grammar, the use of modal verbs in forming indirect requests. As you may know, indirect requests are a polite way to ask for something, especially in formal situations. Using modal verbs in indirect requests can be a bit tricky, but once you get the hang of it, you'll find your English sounding more natural and polite. Before we dive into the use of modal verbs in indirect requests, let's take a brief refresher on what modal verbs are. Modal verbs are special types of verbs that express necessity, possibility, permission, or ability. Some common modal verbs include can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, and must. Direct requests are exactly what they sound like, direct. You're asking for something straight out, like, give me the salt, or, close the window. However, they can sometimes sound a bit rude or too forward. On the other hand, indirect requests are more subtle and polite. They're perfect for professional settings or when you want to show respect. Instead of, give me the salt, you might say, could you pass the salt, please? To form an indirect request with modal verbs, you'll start with the modal verb, followed by the subject, and then the base form of the main verb. Let's look at some examples. Could you help me with this report? Would you mind closing the window? Can you tell me what time it is? Notice how each sentence starts with a modal verb? That's your clue that it's an indirect request. Responding to indirect requests also requires a bit of finesse. Positive responses often use the same modal verb, while negative responses usually require a different modal verb. Let's see how it works. Sure, I could help you with that report. I'm sorry, I can't close the window right now. Remember, the goal of an indirect request is to be polite, so make sure your response matches that tone. And there you have it. Now you know how to form and respond to indirect requests using modal verbs. It's a subtle skill, but one that will undoubtedly make your English more refined and polite. We hope this video has been helpful and we're confident that you'll master this in no time. Keep practicing and stay tuned for more English learning tips.